back to the channel, guys and gals. I promised y'all another video tonight, and we're going to. But tonight's going to be a little bit different because I'm going to let the Kinky Cheryl car build rest for the day and allow the primer to really set in before I go to paint and attach the roof and do some extra work. With that being said, I decided, I really like those 1950 car builds, and they really needed some attention and they need some love. Well, one of the cars we looked at in a previous video was the baggage car. Baggage car needs some love. It's not a bad one. It's actually probably one of the most complete. And so I pulled it out of the box, decided that this is going to be a pretty simple, pretty easy build. And for the most part, everything should go very much okay and to the point, okay? It's going to get repainted. I already know that. You guys already know that. And so why not, right? Repaint it. Let's re-letter it. It's going to get Texas Norm's name on it, my son, and go from there. Now, as far as color-wise, I will probably wind up going with a silver to match with the gun. This goes back to the Rails of Mexico of a limited edition train down there that was in the green, white, red pinstripe and silver in color. I do not know if that was a presidential train or a special train that was run from somewhere in Mexico City to the border. I haven't been able to find a whole lot of information on it. I don't find lots of pictures on it. Just nothing else on that. So let's get started tonight. Let's take a look at what's been done so far and what we can do tonight. So here we go. So as y'all can see, I've already removed, those letters were so old they were literally just flaking off. The paint was just literally flaking off as well. And the paint was actually flaking off underneath this all. So we're just going to kind of clean it up a little bit. That way we can keep everything nice. So it's time to repaint. Everything is nice and smooth. Oh, hang on. Try to get y'all panned down here a little bit more. Sorry about that. I mean, this paint, the letters in the paints were just literally flaking. I mean, there was just no way around it. As I was removing the decal, the paint was coming with it. So these were pretty old. I figured this would be a quick, easy build. No, not really a build, but repaint. Because this car is not getting altered. I do have another truck back there in the back that I'm going to take off one of the other cars to replace this one. So, and oddly enough, this actually has plastic wheels in it. So I may take all the Lionel wheels off one of the other cars, and these may get replaced with nothing but Lionel wheels. Because these are plastic. I don't know where they would have come up with those. So that would have to be a later modification somewhere. Alright, and this, we're going to glue that back right there. Take care of that here in just a minute. The roof, as y'all can tell, there is a lot of gouges and nicks in it. So what I'm going to wind up doing is I'm going to go to either O'Reilly's, AutoZone, whatever I get close to, and pick up some body filler. Nothing major, just a little bit of it, so I can smooth this roof line out. Out of all the four cars, this one was the most complete. It's still intact. So this is the reason why we're going to start with this one. Plus, I want to get the letters Texas Norm put right here for my son. And then the next one, which was a combine, will be done from other side, Rogue Angel. I really enjoy doing this. Now these two cars will not be altered in length or nothing. The other two that were completely torn apart, those will more than likely be altered, just because of the fact that they are in such bad shape. It's one of those deals. It's a toss up what to do with it. And as you can tell, there are no windows in these, so it makes it easier to paint. I'm not going to worry too awful much about that. So it has diaphragms. Rubber, but yeah, deteriorating. So we'll have to try to outsource some more of those, which I got a guy that I do business with that can get them. I think they're like $5 or something like that for a set. Yeah, one thing I will say for these 50s O scale or O gauge trains, no matter how they were built, whether they were built to O gauge standard or actually scale standard, which was very rare in the 50s, is that they were very ingenuitive. I mean, they were using, this is tin that they used, and it did a wonderful job. So it served the purpose, you know. So why destroy that history? Again, this was another one. I got a feeling a couple of these cars may have been water damaged, just due to the trucks on them. But smoothing out the paint right here because I don't want any ripples in the paint when I go to shoot it. Or I might just go to Home Depot, get some wood filler, and do that. Nice and smooth. The biggest thing is on a repaint like this, because you don't know what brand of paint was used back then, is that it could be an enamel, it could be an acrylic. Be careful about what you shoot on top of it. If you got a way to clean them all the way. If not, break the glaze, get it dull, primer it, and then shoot it. People out here getting ready to do some hot rodding. Alright, there's that. As you can tell, that glaze has been broke. Okay? The shiny you're seeing is the tin underneath it. And the sad part about it is this paint's so old that literally as I'm going across it, it's actually removing the paint. Just guys out there hot rodding again, but just literally completely removing it. The other thing I'm getting is a yellow tinge, not because of this, a yellow tinge from the paint. So I don't know if the paint may have had a clear coat on it of some type. I can tell you this, that there was a lot of what they call embers, wood glue, used on this car. A lot. And that was the thing to use back then. Dad used it for many, many years. I've used it. these cars were lettered Southern Pacific, so uh, definitely, you know, at some point these were modified. All right, so let's take a look at what we can do here. I'll have to wipe that down here in a minute. All right, well, where's my glue at? There it is. What I'm doing right now is I'm just going to put some down the bottom, help re-secure it. Just make sure everything stays good and tight. All right. Some of these kits, oh wow, knuckle coupler came off. Wondering when that thing was going to break. Some of these kits actually have what we call pot metal. Like right here, y'all just saw that fall off. Pot metal, this stuff becomes very brittle over time and will just completely come apart on you. And that's exactly what's happened here. So the main thing is, now that we got the bottom secured, it's not going to move on us as much. But we want to make sure the inside, not the outside, unless you got a thin set, which I do have a thin set, just not right now, is getting to the inside up here. And you want to re-secure to the inside, especially if you have a nice area that you can get to. Yes, there was a whole lot of Amber's glue, which as you can see, right there. The purpose of this video mainly is to get this thing put back together, get it in a position that we can get it ready for paint, and do all the extra detailing at a later date. You know, as far as like little paint stuff, uh, you know, stuff like that, stuff that will truly make the car unique. So we now know how this is going to fit. Let's run a bead. See, more paint. Flakes right off. Try to keep this video not short, but all right. So as of right now, this car can actually go back almost ready to go back into service. All right, so this car is almost ready to go back into service. I do have another set of trucks back there I'm going to use on here. The one thing that will have to be done, which I noticed, there's a circle pattern right here from the trucks. So that tells me that the bolster wasn't high enough. So I will have to do a minor modification to that when the next ones go on to make sure there is clearance, because it is very, very close. It's almost too close to the frame. And of course, once the glue dries and do some little sanding here and there, then it will be more and more complete, and at a point where it'll be ready to go back on the rails. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope y'all are looking forward to seeing this one get completed, just like the Kinky Shero. And we're going to get some more stuff done, and hope this will be done long before we get home. I say we, that means me and y'all. And who knows? I don't know if Lionel truck knuckles will match up with this one. So that's going to be an experiment. We will find out in the experiment later on. If not, we'll find some way to pull it around the layout or around the track just to see how it does. As always, keep the shiny side up, rubber down. If you want to see what's coming up next with this one or the Kinky Share car build, please hit like, subscribe, drop some comments. Let's keep rocking and rolling on this channel. And let's see what can we come up with next. I'll see y'all again later, tomorrow sometime, maybe again tonight. You never know. Y'all take it easy. Have a nice night.